from dazzling red carpets to shocking Hollywood scandals. These TV actresses once ruled the screens and our hearts. In this video, we revisit icons like Heather Locklear and Linda Carter, whose timeless beauty and behind-the-scenes stories still stir Hollywood gossip today. Some transformed gracefully, others faced battles fame couldn't shield. Get ready for an unforgettable journey through the rise, fall, and evolution of 50 legendary women who shaped pop culture forever. Heather Locklear. Once hailed as America's ultimate blonde bombshell, Heather Locklear captivated millions throughout the 80s and 90s with her dazzling smile and magnetic presence on shows like Dynasty, T.J. Hooker, and the unforgettable Melrose Place. Her icy blue eyes and sun-kissed hair made her a defining symbol of television glamour. Locklear wasn't just a pretty face. Her talent earned her 4 consecutive Golden Globe nominations, while behind the scenes, she maintained a girl-next-door charm few could resist. Though her appearance has changed, her legacy as one of TV's most captivating stars remains untouched, a testament to a golden era she helped create. Linda Carter. Few images in pop culture are as iconic as Linda Carter donning the red, white, and gold armor of Wonder Woman in the late 1970s. Crowned Miss World USA in 1972 before conquering Hollywood, Carter embodied a rare blend of strength, elegance, and beauty that felt almost otherworldly. Her shimmering dark hair, piercing blue eyes, and statuesque frame made her a symbol of empowerment for generations. Even now in 2025, Carter carries a radiant grace that defies time, with every smile reflecting the same magnetic spirit that once captivated millions. Off-screen, she's also an accomplished singer who has performed at prestigious venues like the Kennedy Center, a side many never knew. Sophia Lauren. Few names evoke timeless beauty quite like Sophia Lauren. Rising from a humble upbringing in Rome, Italy, she became an international symbol of glamour, winning the world's heart with her magnetic screen presence in classics like Two Women, a role that earned her an Academy Award and made history as the first Oscar awarded for a foreign language performance. In her youth, Lauren's sculpted cheekbones, smoldering gaze, and commanding elegance made her a force no camera could resist. Lesser known to many, she once famously turned down Cary Grant's marriage proposal at the height of her fame, choosing loyalty to her roots over Hollywood fantasy. Now, at 90 years old in 2025, Sophia Lauren carries the spirit of her golden era with grace. Every line on her face tells a story of resilience, triumph, and an extraordinary life lived on her own terms. Even today, her regal aura remains untouched, proving that true beauty doesn't fade, it only deepens into legend. Before we dive deeper, tell us, which country are you watching from? Drop it in the comments below. Stay with us until the end. Legends like Kim Novak and Elizabeth Taylor are coming up, and you won't want to miss their breathtaking transformations. Brigitte Bardot. In the 1950s and 60s, Brigitte Bardot redefined beauty itself. With her tousled blonde hair, sultry gaze, and effortless sensuality, she became a global sensation, catapulted to fame with films like And God Created Woman, a movie that made her an overnight icon of French cinema. Bardot wasn't just a pretty face. She was a revolution, embodying a new spirit of freedom and rebellious allure that broke the molds of old Hollywood. Today, at 90 years old, Bardot has long turned her back on the spotlight, devoting her life fiercely to animal rights activism. Brigitte Bardot's beauty was never just skin deep. It was an attitude, a spark, and a fierce independence that continues to inspire across generations. Jacqueline Smith. Jacqueline Smith, the timeless beauty from Charlie's Angels, redefined what it meant to be both glamorous and graceful on television screens across the world. In the late 70s, her silky brunette hair, porcelain skin, and effortless charm made her a standout even among the brightest of stars. Smith wasn't just a pretty face. She successfully transitioned into a savvy businesswoman, launching a fashion and home line that became a major retail success. Few realized that Jacqueline originally aspired to be a ballerina before destiny called her to Hollywood. Today, at 78, she still radiates a sophistication that few can match. Her features carrying the delicate traces of a life lived in the public eye. Her appearance may have evolved with time, but her quiet strength, polished elegance, and indelible mark on pop culture remain unshaken. Priscilla Presley. Priscilla Presley was once the definition of delicate Hollywood beauty, with her striking blue eyes, flawless skin, and an ethereal aura that made her unforgettable in the 1970s. Best known for her roles in Dallas and the Naked Gun series, she quickly proved she was more than just Elvis's former wife. However, Priscilla's journey through fame has not been without controversy. In recent years, her appearance has sparked endless debate. Following a series of cosmetic procedures, including one that was publicly revealed to involve a botched treatment by an unlicensed doctor, her once soft, natural beauty has transformed into a look that many fans found almost unrecognizable. Despite the changes, Priscilla remains a powerful figure, a resilient woman who turned Graceland into a multi-million-dollar empire and continues to protect her legacy with unwavering determination. Kim Novak. Kim Novak, born February 13, 1933, was the face of Hollywood's golden fantasies, radiant, magnetic, unforgettable. With Vertigo and Picnic, she became an icon, but time would uncover a harsher reality beneath the glamour. In one of the most talked-about Hollywood scandals, Novak shocked audiences at the 2014 Oscars with a dramatically altered appearance. She later admitted to using facial fillers, a decision she said she deeply regretted, a painful consequence of chasing impossible beauty standards set by the very town that once worshipped her. At 92, her face carries the marks, not just of aging, but of a lifelong battle between Hollywood's ruthless expectations and her true self. Kim Novak's story is a piercing reminder. Real legends aren't those who stayed flawless, they're the ones who dared to survive beyond the illusions. Linda Evans. Linda Evans, the luminous star of Dynasty, captivated audiences throughout the 1980s with her statuesque beauty, signature platinum locks, and a quiet strength that made Crystal Carrington a household name. Her icy blue gaze and effortless poise set her apart in a decade obsessed with red carpet fashion and glitzy television drama. Yet, behind the camera, far from the swirl of Hollywood gossip, Evans was known for her down-to-earth spirit and deep love for nature, often escaping the chaos of fame for the tranquility of her farm in Washington state. 2025, in a time when celebrity interviews often reveal the pressures of aging under a spotlight, Evans stands as a rare example of someone who chose inner peace over public approval. Kim Richards. Kim Richards once captured America's heart as one of Disney's brightest young stars. With her sun-kissed blonde hair, mischievous smile, and a sparkle that lit up every frame, she soared to fame in the 1970s with unforgettable roles in Escape to Witch Mountain and Return from Witch Mountain. In recent decades, Kim found a second wave of fame on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, where her candid struggles and vulnerability resonated deeply with audiences. In 2025, living a quieter life away from the full glare of the spotlight, she continues to focus on family, personal growth, and maintaining her hard-earned peace, proving that true beauty is about perseverance, authenticity, and inner strength. Elizabeth Taylor. Elizabeth Taylor, born February 27, 1932, remains a timeless symbol of Hollywood allure, whose impact still echoes through 2025. With her mesmerizing violet eyes and a beauty so striking it almost seemed otherworldly, Taylor dominated screens in the 50s, 60s, and well into the 70s and 80s. Blockbusters like Cleopatra and Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf not only showcased her acting brilliance, but also her magnetic, unforgettable presence. As the decades unfolded, Taylor's beauty evolved from youthful enchantment to a regal elegance that defied the norms of aging in Hollywood. In her later years, Elizabeth became a trailblazer for HIV/AIDS awareness, receiving accolades as much for her humanitarian efforts as for her cinematic legacy. Though she passed in 2011, today's audiences still marvel at how her legacy continues to redefine the very meaning of beauty, strength, and glamour. Elizabeth Taylor faced scandal, heartbreak, and fame like no other. Do you think surviving Hollywood's dark side made her even greater than her beauty ever did? Comment yes. If you believe her struggles made her legendary, no if you think it was all about her looks. Morgan Fairchild. With her dazzling blue eyes, flawless blonde waves, and commanding presence, Morgan Fairchild became one of the most glamorous faces on television during the late 70s and 80s. Best known for shows like Flamingo Road and Falcon Crest, she embodied the very spirit of red carpet fashion, often turning heads with her stunning couture-inspired looks. But behind the sparkle, Fairchild was a shrewd, self-made star who navigated the tricky tides of Hollywood gossip with grace, avoiding the scandals that snared many of her peers. Even today, her name often surfaces in celebrity interviews, a testament to the lasting impression she made. Interestingly, few fans know she began her career as a double for Faye Dunaway in Bonnie and Clyde, before conquering prime time on her own terms. Katherine Bark. In the late 70s, Katherine Bark became an overnight sensation as the unforgettable Daisy Duke in The Dukes of Hazzard. With her mile-long legs, radiant smile, and confident charm, she turned a simple pair of denim shorts into a pop culture phenomenon. So much so that the term Daisy Dukes is still used today. But Katherine was far more than a poster girl. She was a symbol of spirited independence that resonated across America. In 2025, though the youthful glow has softened, the lively twinkle in her eyes remains untouched, a reminder of the woman who forever changed the image of the all-American sweetheart. Cheryl Ladd. When Cheryl Ladd burst onto the screen in the late 70s, stepping into Charlie's Angels after Farrah Fawcett's departure, she captivated millions with her golden hair, sparkling blue eyes, and an effortless California glow. Her role as Chris Monroe instantly cemented her as one of television's ultimate icons of beauty and charisma. Off-screen, Cheryl also built a surprising legacy as a talented singer, even releasing top-charting albums in the late 70s. Over the decades, her beauty has evolved gracefully, from the radiant, all-American charm of her youth to the poised, dignified elegance she exudes today. Few know that beyond her acting career, Cheryl is an accomplished author and passionate golfer, proving her talents run far deeper than the dazzling smile that once lit up millions of living rooms across America. Delta Burke. Delta Burke once mesmerized audiences with her striking blue eyes, classic Hollywood features, and unforgettable screen presence. Her portrayal as Suzanne Sugarbaker on Designing Women earned her 2 Emmy nominations. Behind the scenes, she battled personal struggles that few knew about at the time, including challenges with self-image and public scrutiny. Through it all, Delta remained fiercely resilient. Today, her look has transformed from the glamorous pageant queen of her early career into a bold, confident figure who embraces life on her own terms. Beyond acting, Delta is also a passionate advocate for mental health awareness, bringing even more depth to a legacy that was built not just on beauty but on courage and authenticity. Jane Seymour. With her luminous hazel eyes and porcelain skin, Jane Seymour seemed to step straight out of a dream when she first graced the screen in the early 70s. Best known for her iconic role as the mysterious solitaire in Live and Let Die, 1973, Jane captured the world's imagination and never let it go. Through the 80s and 90s, she enchanted audiences again with Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, proving her talent stretched far beyond beauty alone. Born on February 15, 1951, Jane continues to defy time at 73 years old, exuding the same effortless grace and captivating spirit that made her a household name. In 2025, Jane Seymour remains a symbol of how true beauty is not frozen in youth, but grows deeper, stronger, and more luminous with every passing year. Linda Gray. When Dallas first hit television screens in 1978, Linda Gray's portrayal of Sue Ellen Ewing set a new standard for beauty, strength, and complexity. With her dazzling smile, expressive eyes, and towering elegance, Linda became one of TV's most captivating figures. Her performance earned her an Emmy nomination and a Golden Globe win, yet few knew that before acting, she had already built a successful career as a model, even serving as a body double for Anne Bancroft in The Graduate. Now, in 2025, Linda's appearance tells a deeper, richer story, not just of a celebrated actress, but of a woman who has gracefully embraced every chapter of her life. Victoria Principal. Victoria Principal carved her place in television history, with a gaze so intense and beauty so magnetic that she became one of the defining faces of prime-time drama. As Pamela Barnes Ewing on Dallas, Victoria was the perfect blend of vulnerability and fierce determination, captivating viewers through the late 70s and 80s. Her sculpted cheekbones, luminous skin, and signature brunette locks became instantly iconic. Yet behind the scenes, Victoria was much more than a screen siren. She's a savvy businesswoman who later built a multi-million-dollar skincare empire. Today, at 74, Victoria's beauty has matured into something quietly powerful. Her graceful appearance a tribute to self-care, strength, and independence. Pamela Sue Martin. Pamela Sue Martin possessed a rare beauty that made her unforgettable from the moment she appeared on screen. She first gained fame as the original Nancy Drew in the beloved TV series The Hardy Boys' Nancy Drew Mysteries, and later captivated millions as Fallon Carrington Colby on the iconic soap opera Dynasty. Behind her soft elegance was a bold spirit. Few know that Pamela was a passionate environmental activist long before celebrity activism became common. Today, her beauty has matured into something serene and genuine, reflecting a woman who chose a quieter life away from Hollywood's glare. Marilu Henner. Marilu Henner lit up television screens in the late 70s and early 80s with her role as the sharp, fiery Elaine Nardo on the classic sitcom Taxi. With her dazzling red hair, piercing blue eyes, and magnetic energy, she stood out effortlessly in an era packed with iconic beauties. Marilu wasn't just a pretty face, she was a multi-talented dynamo, equally gifted in acting, dancing, and later writing best-selling health and memory books. Fascinatingly, Marilu is one of the very few people in the world with highly superior autobiographical memory, HSAM, meaning she can remember nearly every day of her life in vivid detail. Katherine Oxenberg. Katherine Oxenberg first dazzled audiences with her portrayal of Amanda Carrington on the hit TV series Dynasty, exuding an aristocratic beauty that felt almost destined, not surprising given that she is a real-life descendant of European royalty. With her radiant blonde hair, sculpted features, and natural grace, Katherine quickly became one of the most captivating faces of the 1980s. Yet her life journey would turn out to be far more dramatic than any soap opera storyline. In recent years, she has been a fierce advocate for justice, famously leading a courageous battle to save her daughter from a dangerous organization. Today, Katherine's beauty carries the depth of resilience, determination, and love, traits that only deepen her magnetic presence. Marky Post. Marky Post was the very definition of 80s television charm, smart, sassy, and effortlessly stunning. Best remembered for her role as the quick-witted public defender Christine Sullivan on Night Court, Marky's radiant smile, piercing eyes, and vibrant energy made her an instant fan favorite. Before Night Court, she also turned heads on The Fall Guy and even worked behind the scenes on game shows, proving her determination to succeed in Hollywood. Over the years, Marky's beauty evolved gracefully, softening into a warmth and kindness that radiated in every public appearance. Her journey was not without challenges, yet she faced them with resilience and a smile that never faded. Erin Gray. Erin Gray captured hearts across the galaxy as Colonel Wilma Deering in the cult classic Buck Rogers in the 25th century, becoming one of the first strong, elegant female icons in science fiction television. With her shimmering blonde hair, icy blue eyes, and poised demeanor, she became a beloved figure of late 70s and early 80s pop culture. Today, her beauty has evolved into a serene, dignified presence, silver hair framing a face that tells a lifetime of adventure and resilience. Few realize Erin was once a top model before conquering television, or that she's also a successful talent agent, helping a new generation of actors find their own stars to chase. Shelley Long. With her radiant smile and signature golden hair, Shelley Long became one of television's brightest stars in the 1980s. Best known for her unforgettable role as Diane Chambers on Cheers, Long captured hearts with a blend of wit, sophistication, and irresistible charm, earning both an Emmy and a Golden Globe. In her prime, she epitomized a natural beauty that felt both glamorous and approachable, a rare combination that set her apart from her peers. Over the decades, Shelley's features have matured gracefully, reflecting a life lived with authenticity rather than chasing fleeting trends. Joyce DeWitt. With her signature dark hair, sparkling eyes, and magnetic smile, Joyce DeWitt lit up television screens as the beloved Janet Wood on Three's Company in the late 1970s and early 1980s. Her approachable beauty and sharp comedic timing made her an instant favorite, setting her apart in an era dominated by glamorous bombshells. Joyce's charm wasn't just skin-deep. She carried a relatable warmth that made audiences feel as if they truly knew her. Fast forward to 2025, and Joyce's infectious spirit remains just as vivid, her beauty now carrying the grace and authenticity of a life lived far beyond the stage lights. Terry Copley. In the 1980s, Terry Copley lit up the screen with her golden curls and dazzling smile, capturing hearts in We Got It Made. She was the perfect blend of glamour and approachability, quickly becoming a television favorite. By 2025, at 62, Terry embraces a striking, evolved look, reflecting a life of bold choices and reinvention. Few know she left Hollywood at her peak to pursue a deeper spiritual path. Reshaping her legacy far beyond fame, her beauty today is not just in her face, it's in her fearless, vibrant spirit. Nicollette Sheridan. Once hailed as one of television's ultimate bombshells, Nicollette Sheridan captivated the world with her piercing blue eyes and effortless charisma. Rising to fame in the 1980s with her unforgettable role as Paige Matheson in Knots Landing, she became a household name, later reigniting her fame as the mischievous Edie Britt on Desperate Housewives. In her prime, Sheridan's beauty was a perfect storm of soft glamour and daring allure, a face that could launch 1,000 storylines. Fast forward to 2025, and while time has inevitably etched its signature, her striking features still hint at the icon who once ruled primetime screens. Nancy McKeon. In the 1980s, few faces were as instantly recognizable as Nancy McKeon's. With her signature dark hair, magnetic smile, and unmistakable spark, she brought Joe Polniacek to life in The Facts of Life, redefining the image of the cool, tough yet vulnerable teen. Audiences loved her authenticity, a beauty that felt both accessible and unforgettable. As the years have passed, Nancy has gracefully evolved, carrying her same warm presence and soulful eyes into 2025. Though Hollywood once courted her as a rising superstar, McKeon consciously stepped away from the relentless spotlight, focusing on family and personal fulfillment. Nowadays, Nancy McKeon remains a beloved figure, not just for who she was, but for the strength and grace she's carried ever since. Courtney Cox. From the moment Courtney Cox danced her way onto the stage in Bruce Springsteen's Dancing in the Dark video, Hollywood knew a star had arrived. With her striking blue eyes, flawless bone structure, and effortless charm, she quickly became a household name, cementing her place in television history as Monica Geller in Friends. Today, at 59, Courtney radiates a different kind of elegance, one shaped by experience, resilience, and a career that spans decades. Beyond acting, she stepped into directing and producing, revealing her deep creativity behind the camera. Few realize she was the first choice to play Susan Mayer in Desperate Housewives before Terry Hatcher, a decision that could have altered television history. Jennifer Aniston. Jennifer Aniston's arrival in the 90s was like a breath of fresh air, effortless beauty, radiant charm, and a personality that instantly captured hearts worldwide. As Rachel Green on Friends, she became not just a television icon but a cultural phenomenon, sparking trends like the Rachel haircut that defined an entire generation. Her classic California glow, paired with an approachable yet magnetic presence, set her apart. Now in 2025, Aniston continues to dazzle with a beauty that feels timeless, evolving gracefully while maintaining the warmth and sparkle that made her famous. Beyond acting, she's built an empire, from producing acclaimed shows like The Morning Show to becoming a symbol of resilience in an industry obsessed with youth. How do you feel about Jennifer Aniston's transformation over the years? Comment a number from 1 shocking change to 5 aged like fine wine. We want to hear your honest take. Elizabeth Shue. Elizabeth Shue embodied the wholesome yet captivating beauty of the 80s, winning hearts as the girl next door in The Karate Kid and the fearless babysitter in Adventures in Babysitting. Her natural charm, radiant smile, and undeniable talent made her a standout in an era packed with rising stars. What made Shue even more compelling was her quiet intelligence. She studied at Harvard, returning to complete her degree years after fame found her. In 2025, Elizabeth still carries that signature blend of strength and sweetness, though her beauty has evolved into something richer and more grounded. Today, at 60, she continues to shine both on screen and off, a living testament that true beauty isn't fleeting. It's woven into the resilience, grace, and depth of those who have lived fully and fearlessly. Shelley Hack. Shelley Hack's beauty in the late 70s and early 80s was the epitome of poised elegance, cool, polished, and unforgettable. As a face of Revlon's iconic Charlie perfume campaign, and later as Tiffany Wells in Charlie's Angels, Shelley exuded a unique sophistication that set her apart from the era's more traditional starlets. What many don't know is that Shelley Hack was also a political science graduate from Smith College and later became an international media consultant, using her platform to advocate for democratic initiatives worldwide. In 2025, at 76, Shelley embraces a life far from the spotlight, her beauty evolving into a quiet, timeless dignity. Meg Foster. Meg Foster has always possessed a beauty unlike any other, fierce, haunting, and unforgettable. She captivated audiences in roles like Cagney and Lacey, They Live, and Masters of the Universe. In an era filled with classic starlets, Foster stood out not just for her unique appearance, but for the intensity and intelligence she brought to every role. Her beauty was never just surface deep, it carried a powerful mystique that made her characters impossible to ignore. Her transformation reminds us that true beauty lies not in chasing youth, but in embracing every chapter with fearless authenticity, something Meg Foster has mastered like few others. Amanda Bierce. Back in the late 80s, Amanda Bierce captured hearts with her unforgettable role as the quick-witted and stylish Marcy Darcy on Married with Children. Few know that before her television fame, Amanda made waves in horror cult circles with her performance in Fright Night 1985, a fan-favorite classic to this day. Over the years, her beauty has gracefully evolved, trading the bold, edgy style of her youth for a soft, timeless elegance. Off-screen, Amanda broke barriers, becoming one of the first TV actresses to publicly come out as LGBTQ+ in 1993, a bold move that made her a quiet trailblazer in Hollywood history. Amanda Bierce remains proof that true beauty is about daring to stay true to yourself, no matter how the world changes. Dana Delany. When Dana Delany first stepped onto screens in China Beach, her luminous beauty and fierce vulnerability captivated an entire generation. With her striking red hair, porcelain complexion, and piercing gaze, she quickly became one of the most admired television actresses of the late 80s and early 90s. Winning 2 Emmy Awards for her unforgettable role as Colleen McMurphy, Dana embodied a new kind of heroine, strong, sensitive, and mesmerizingly real. Beyond her most famous work, few know she once turned down the role of Carrie Bradshaw in Sex and the City, a decision she has spoken about with quiet confidence. In 2025, her beauty has matured like a fine vintage, embracing warmth, wisdom, and a natural radiance that no camera can fabricate. Justine Baitman. In the 1980s, Justine Baitman was the picture of youthful charisma, lighting up living rooms across America as the stylish and quick-witted Mallory Keaton on Family Ties. With her sparkling blue eyes, radiant smile, and effortless charm, she became a teen idol almost overnight. But behind the glossy fame, Justine was never content to be just another Hollywood face. After stepping away from acting, she boldly pursued writing, producing, and even earned a degree in computer science from UCLA. An unexpected pivot that shocked many fans. Today, in 2025, at 58 years old, Justine wears her journey with undeniable pride. Refusing to conform to conventional beauty standards, she has become a powerful voice for aging naturally in a world obsessed with perfection. Her evolution reminds us that true beauty isn't trapped in time. It grows, deepens, and tells a richer story with every passing year. Number 10. Michael Jackson. In the 2003 Living with Michael Jackson documentary, one of the most shocking moments occurred when the King of Pop sat down with 13-year-old Gavin Arvizo at his infamous Neverland Ranch. What seemed like a typical celebrity interview took an uncomfortable turn when journalist Martin Bashir pressed Jackson about the children who had stayed in his home, specifically in his bedroom. Bashir questioned the appropriateness of an adult man having sleepovers with unrelated children. "Children from other families have come and they've stayed in your house?" he asked. Jackson responded with a defensive tone, saying he felt sorry for those who saw anything wrong with it. He claimed that allowing children to stay overnight at his home, which sparked major public concern, was an act of kindness and love, not anything inappropriate. "I feel sorry for them because that's judging someone who wants to really help people," Jackson said, explaining that he would sleep on the floor while offering his bed to the children. When Bashir asked why the children didn't just stay in guest rooms, Jackson admitted there were indeed other rooms, but he insisted that the children always preferred to stay with him. This interview sent shockwaves through the public. The backlash was immediate and intense, escalating to even greater scrutiny during the 2005 trial. The controversy surrounding Jackson's behavior, combined with his financial struggles, followed him throughout the rest of his life and played a significant role in his downfall, continuing to haunt his legacy until his passing in 2009. Number 5. Prince Andrew. In 2019, Prince Andrew's disastrous interview with BBC's Emily Maitlis turned into a public relations nightmare, ultimately leading to his decision to step back from royal duties. The interview, intended to clear the air, backfired in spectacular fashion. The topic at hand was his controversial connection to Jeffrey Epstein, a figure whose name had already become synonymous with scandal. Rather than distancing himself from Epstein, Prince Andrew tried to justify their relationship, stating it was a convenient place to stay. That comment alone sent shockwaves through the public, as many couldn't comprehend how a member of the royal family could be so dismissive of such serious allegations, but things only escalated from there. When asked about Virginia Roberts, one of Epstein's accusers, Prince Andrew claimed he had never met her, despite a widely circulated photograph showing them together. His repeated attempts to explain himself only fueled the fire, and instead of taking responsibility, he came across as evasive and insincere. As public backlash intensified, businesses and organizations began severing ties with his charities. In an attempt to quell the growing scandal, the royal family announced that Prince Andrew would no longer engage in public duties. The interview became a turning point, marking the end of his public role and tarnishing his image forever. Number 2. Jesse Eisenberg. Jesse Eisenberg, known for his quick wit in films like Zombieland and Now You See Me, had earned widespread admiration for his sharp performances, even earning nominations for prestigious awards like the Academy Award and Golden Globe. During an interview with Romina Puga, Eisenberg's behavior shocked both the reporter and the audience. He made snide comments about her interview style, mocking her for writing notes on her hand and sarcastically questioning her every move. "Freeman, yeah, what are you on a baseball team with him?" he quipped, dismissing her questions. At one point, when she jokingly asked him to speed things up, he snapped back, "Hey, you are on my time." The interaction quickly turned uncomfortable, with the reporter later describing the experience as humiliating and deeply unsettling. As the interview made its way online, viewers were quick to label Eisenberg as rude and condescending. The backlash was swift, and his reputation, once built on his impressive acting career, took a significant hit. Number 1. Sha Combs. The footage showing a 2016 incident involving Combs and Cassie Ventura was released to the public in 2024, causing renewed outrage. The footage was a harrowing display of Combs' aggression as he grabbed Ventura and threw her to the floor, kicking her twice as she lay helpless. The clip, which captured him dragging her back toward the hotel room and later throwing a vase across the hallway, raised serious questions about his violent tendencies. Ventura was later seen trying to escape by using a hotel phone, but Combs returned, cornered her, and allegedly struck her again. The video was a devastating blow to his public image, leading to widespread condemnation. Despite the shock, Combs' career continued for several years, but his scandals didn't end there. Fast forward to 2024, and Combs found himself embroiled in a new wave of controversy. Further allegations, including accusations of misconduct and toxic behavior, resurfaced, culminating in a May 2025 trial. These ongoing scandals have severely damaged his once untouchable status in the music industry. While many stars have weathered scandals, Combs' long-standing career may never recover from the combination of these shocking incidents. Some mistakes can be repaired, but for him, it seems the damage is irreversible. Number 26, Viggo Mortensen. Viggo Mortenson's commitment to method acting reached new extremes while filming The Lord of the Rings as Aragorn. To fully embody the rugged ranger, Mortensen spent days camping in the wilderness, going without showers, soap, or a change of clothes. The result? A body odor so strong it left some of his co-stars, including Sean Bean, Boromir, voicing their concerns about the smell. Despite the discomfort, Mortensen's dedication to the role paid off. Aragorn remains one of the most iconic characters in cinematic history. However, it seems Mortensen knows when to dial it back. When promoting Captain Fantastic, his younger co-stars shared that in real life, he smells far more pleasant, often carrying the refreshing scent of green tea or yerba mate. Number 9, Belle Gibson. Belle Gibson skyrocketed to fame in 2013 as a wellness influencer, thanks to her app, The Whole Pantry, which promoted healthy living and alternative medicine. She quickly became a trusted figure, publishing cookbooks and gaining a massive following. But everything came crashing down when she made a shocking claim. She said she had multiple cancers and was healing them through diet and natural remedies. Many believed her, supporting her journey and buying into her brand of health and hope. "I've been tested for ovarian cancer. I no longer have cancer in my uterus," she confidently proclaimed. However, by 2015, suspicions began to arise. Rumors spread that Gibson had never been sick at all. Further investigation revealed she had also promised to donate profits to charity, but no donations were ever made. The trust people had in her started to crumble. The pressure mounted, and Gibson eventually confessed in a 2015 interview with Australian Women's Weekly, admitting she had fabricated her entire cancer story. She explained that her difficult childhood influenced her actions, but the damage was irreversible. Once a beloved influencer, she quickly became the face of deception. Her career was shattered as the truth came out. In 2017, the fallout intensified when she was fined $410,000 for misleading the public. Belle Gibson's fall from grace became one of the most notorious scandals in the influencer world, showing how lies can obliterate even the most successful careers. Number 3, Paula Dean. In 2013, Paula Dean, once a beloved Food Network star and cooking mogul, saw her career implode after a shocking legal revelation. During a deposition for a lawsuit, Dean admitted to using racial slurs in the past and even shared that she had once considered holding a plantation-themed wedding. The public backlash was swift and unforgiving, with many criticizing her for her insensitive remarks. The controversy escalated when Dean appeared on the Today Show to address the scandal. Rather than taking full accountability, she portrayed herself as a victim, claiming she was being unfairly targeted. Her weak attempt at an apology, which referenced an earlier video apology, left many viewers feeling that she wasn't genuinely remorseful. This only added fuel to the fire. As the scandal continued to grow, major brands including Walmart and the Food Network quickly severed ties with Dean. The fallout was immediate and severe, marking the downfall of her once thriving career. Dean's reputation never fully recovered, and her public image was forever tarnished by the controversy. Number 7. Bobcat Goldthwait. Bobcat Goldthwait was known for his unpredictable and chaotic behavior, but nothing quite matched the shocking spectacle he created during his 1994 appearance on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. Goldthwait, who was already making headlines for his out-of-control antics rather than his comedy, took things to a whole new level that night. When Leno introduced him, the audience immediately sensed something outrageous was about to unfold. As the interview began, Goldthwait didn't hold back, sarcastically declaring that in order to stay relevant, he had to go nuts for the ratings. "No, I got to go nuts. No, you don't have to go. No, I know I have to go nuts," he said, completely unfazed. Then came his infamous declaration, "I think I'm an excellent role model for children." It was clear he wasn't taking himself too seriously, but what happened next was beyond comprehension. Goldthwait pulled out a can of lighter fluid and a lighter, setting his chair on fire right on stage. Leno and the crew were stunned, urging him to sit in the flaming chair. Goldthwait, however, remained unbothered, joking, sit down, I'm not sitting in that chair." The fallout was immediate. The stunt wasn't just a prank, it landed Goldthwait in serious legal trouble. He was charged by the city attorney of Burbank for unlawfully starting a fire and possessing flammable substances with intent to cause damage, with potential fines that could reach $2,700 for each offense. Number 12, Vanilla Ice. In 1990, Vanilla Ice was at the top of the world with his hit song, Ice Ice Baby. The song skyrocketed him to fame, but his music career quickly began to fade with a series of unsuccessful releases. But it wasn't just the music that tanked his career, it was a jaw-dropping moment on MTV in 1994 that sealed his downfall. He appeared on 25 Lame, a show where comedians roasted bad music videos. What was supposed to be a light-hearted segment quickly turned into chaos. Instead of simply mocking his own video, Vanilla Ice was handed a baseball bat and instructed to destroy the Ice Ice Baby tape. He began smashing the tape, but it didn't stop there. In an outburst of frustration, he lost control, wrecking the entire set. Tables flew, and objects were shattered. At one point, he even seemed ready to swing the bat at Jon Stewart, leaving the host visibly stunned. Janeane Garofalo even curled up in fear, clearly taken aback by his unpredictability. Viewers didn't see it as just a joke, they saw a man angry and bitter over the fading of his career. The outburst became one of the defining moments of Vanilla Ice's public life, and it marked the point where his career, already in decline, was all but finished. This chaotic moment on MTV is still remembered as one of the key reasons why he never regained the fame he once had. Number 14, Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin Phoenix had already solidified his place as one of Hollywood's most respected actors, but a 2009 appearance on The Late Show with David Letterman would become one of the most bewildering moments of his career. Phoenix stepped onto the stage with a completely altered look, his face covered by a thick beard, sunglasses concealing his eyes, and an overall strange, disconnected demeanor. Letterman, ever the host, commented on Phoenix's new look, "You've got a nice beard going." Phoenix's reply was awkwardly short, "Oh, yeah, thank you." As the interview continued, Phoenix's behavior became increasingly bizarre. Letterman tried to steer the conversation with basic questions, but Phoenix offered little more than short, awkward responses. When asked about his beard, Phoenix seemed visibly uncomfortable. "I'm okay with it," he replied, "when now you're making me feel weird about it." His unemotional delivery and bizarre exchanges left both Letterman and the audience confused, unsure if he was joking or truly disoriented. The most shocking moment came when Phoenix casually announced that he was quitting acting to pursue a career in hip-hop music, leaving the audience stunned. Letterman, trying to play along, joked and tried to coax a more serious response out of him. "I'm hopeful that you will reconsider and come back to acting," he said. But Phoenix remained silent and distant, as if unaffected by the situation. In the aftermath, many speculated that Phoenix might be going through personal struggles, as his erratic behavior seemed to signal something deeper. Hollywood quickly distanced itself from him, and it appeared that his once promising career might be over. Months later, it was revealed that Phoenix's shocking behavior had been part of an elaborate hoax for a mockumentary film titled I'm Still Here. While the truth behind the act came to light, the damage to his career was already done. Studios stopped offering him roles, and it would take several years of powerful performances in films like Her, 2013, and Joker, 2019, to repair his reputation and earn back Hollywood's respect. Number 18, Juliana Rancic. Juliana Rancic was a prominent face on Eater-S Fashion Police, but her fame took a drastic turn after one controversial comment. During a segment covering the 2015 Academy Awards, she made a remark about Zendaya's hairstyle that would spark an outrage. Rancic said Zendaya's dreadlocks made her look like she smelled of patchouli oil or weed, a comment widely criticized as an offensive stereotype. Zendaya wasted no time in defending herself, taking to Instagram to express her disappointment. She pointed out the stark difference between making a joke and crossing the line into disrespect. Zendaya explained that she wore her natural hair to celebrate its beauty, and Rancic's words hurt that sentiment deeply. The post quickly went viral, gaining massive support from fans and public figures alike, who condemned Rancic's remark. Rancic tried to make amends, first issuing an apology on Twitter, saying that she never intended to offend anyone, but the backlash kept growing. Later, she gave a more heartfelt statement, acknowledging the harm her words caused and vowing to avoid perpetuating harmful stereotypes in the future. "I've learned it is not my intent that matters. It's the result," she admitted. However, Rancic also blamed editing, claiming her comments had been taken out of context. "In the editing process, some of the gestures I made, some of the things I said were taken out for time," she said, "but the damage had already been done." Number 20, Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson's career took a major hit after a shocking revelation during a 2019 celebrity interview that sent Hollywood gossip into overdrive. He opened up about a dark moment from his past, a time when someone close to him was attacked. In his own words, "I was away, I came back and she told me she had been raped." Consumed by rage, Neeson confessed he had roamed the streets fueled by anger, looking to start a fight with any black man he encountered, so that I could kill him, and it took me a week, maybe a week and a half to kind of go from that, he admitted. The fallout was immediate and brutal, one of the biggest Hollywood scandals of the time. Critics slammed him for even harboring such thoughts, despite him later acknowledging how horrifying his mindset had been and expressing deep shame. Some stars like Trevor Noah and Whoopi Goldberg defended him, arguing that confronting ugly truths from the past took real courage. Still, fans remained torn. For many, the damage was done. By 2025, the shadow of that confession still clings to his legacy, making it hard for audiences to see him or his films the same way again. Number 16, Joan Rivers. Joan Rivers' relationship with The Tonight Show had been one of the most iconic in television history. She was a frequent guest and even filled in as guest host when Johnny Carson was absent. It seemed like the perfect professional partnership. But in 1986, everything came crashing down. Rivers made a bold move when she accepted an offer from Fox to host her own late-night talk show, putting her in direct competition with Carson. Fox was starting the network and they approached us, Rupert Murdoch and Barry Diller. The real issue wasn't just the competition, but Rivers' failure to inform Carson before the announcement went public. When she finally called to explain, Carson's response was immediate. He hung up on her. She tried again, but he refused to take her call. Rivers later revealed that NBC had been vague about renewing her contract, leaving her uncertain about her future with the network as they kept stalling on a definitive answer. "Totally renew me," she recalled, feeling the frustration build. The network's inaction left her in a tough spot. Meanwhile, Fox saw an opportunity to make a splash in the late-night world. They offered Rivers a deal that was impossible to ignore. A 5-year contract and $15 million, a fortune by the standards of the time. When $15 million meant something, which was, just over the moon money. The offer promised her everything she had at NBC and more, but the consequences were devastating. Carson, unable to forgive the betrayal, never spoke to Rivers again. She was permanently banned from The Tonight Show, marking the end of an era in late-night television. Number 11, Rachel Zegler. Rachel Zegler's star seemed destined to rise when she landed the lead role in West Side Story, 2021, earning praise for her performance and quickly becoming one of Hollywood's most exciting new talents. However, her career took an unexpected turn when controversy surrounding her role in Disney's live-action Snow White made headlines and divided fans. The remake of the beloved 1937 classic was already a hot topic, with many fans skeptical about whether it could live up to the original. But Zegler's comments about the animated film only stoked the flames. In an interview, she openly criticized the original Snow White, dismissing it as outdated and in need of a modern update. She went further, claiming the love story between Snow White and the prince wasn't important and should take a back seat to themes of leadership. In a particularly bold statement, she jokingly described the prince as a stalker, adding, with a guy who literally stalks her. Yeah, weird. Fans of the original Snow White were outraged by her comments. Many felt she had disrespected a film that had shaped the childhoods of millions. The backlash intensified when Zegler admitted she had never been fond of Snow White as a child, saying she had watched it once and never liked it. Fans were left wondering why she would take on the iconic role if she had no personal connection or appreciation for the film. As her remarks continued to stir controversy, Zegler's media appearances only seemed to fuel the fire. The public outcry grew louder, with calls to boycott her future projects, including her role in the upcoming Hunger Games prequel. What should have been a career-defining role in a high-profile Disney remake quickly turned into a public relations nightmare, tarnishing her reputation among fans and critics alike. Number 6. Will Smith. The 2022 Oscars will forever be remembered for one shocking moment that made headlines around the world. Will Smith, in an unprecedented move, walked up on stage and slapped Chris Rock after the comedian made a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith's shaved head, referencing G.I. Jane. The joke hit a nerve because Jada had been publicly dealing with alopecia. While Smith initially laughed, the situation took a dramatic turn when he stormed onto the stage and slapped Rock. "Oh wow," Rock responded in disbelief. As Smith returned to his seat, he shouted twice, telling Rock to keep my wife's name out of your mouth, leaving the room in stunned silence. Rock, though clearly shaken, tried to maintain his composure and keep the show moving, but the damage was already done. The atmosphere of the event shifted drastically, and Smith's actions were immediately condemned by both viewers and fellow celebrities. In the aftermath, the Academy imposed a 10-year ban on Smith, and many in Hollywood distanced themselves from the actor. His career, which had seemed unstoppable just moments before, was now in freefall. Upcoming projects were delayed or outright cancelled, and the once celebrated star became the subject of relentless Hollywood gossip. The slap had irrevocably altered the trajectory of his career, transforming him from a beloved A-lister into a symbol of controversy. 2025, Will Smith is slowly trying to rebuild his public image, but the shadow of that Oscar moment continues to loom large over him. It's a powerful reminder of how quickly fame can be altered by one impulsive decision. Did Will Smith go too far, or was he right to defend his wife? Drop your opinion from 1 absolutely wrong to 5 100% right in the comments. Let's settle this once and for all. Number 4. Jussie Smollett. In 2019, Jussie Smollett, a star of the hit TV series Empire, became embroiled in a scandal that would ultimately destroy his career. What began as a heartbreaking story of a hate crime turned out to be a fabricated tale. Smollett reported to police that he had been attacked late at night in Chicago by 2 masked men who hurled racist and homophobic slurs, poured liquid on him, and tied a rope around his neck. The public was initially sympathetic, with many celebrities and politicians voicing support for him. But as the investigation unfolded, troubling inconsistencies emerged in his story. Investigators discovered that 2 brothers had been paid $3,500 by Smollett to stage the attack. They revealed that Smollett had orchestrated the entire event in hopes of gaining public attention and securing a higher salary on Empire. The shocking revelation of Smollett's deceit led to criminal charges, and he was convicted of lying to the police. He was sentenced to jail time and community service, but his career quickly unraveled. Empire removed him from the show, and the industry distanced itself from him. Even former President Donald Trump weighed in, criticizing Smollett for his actions and the impact they had on the public's perception. Smollett's once promising career was left in ruins, and he has yet to recover from the scandal. Number 8. Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise has been one of Hollywood's most prominent figures, but his career took unexpected turns after several highly publicized moments that altered the public's perception of him. One of the most notable incidents happened during an interview with Peter Overton, where Cruise was asked about his relationship with Nicole Kidman. Initially, he responded politely, even stating that he planned to marry again. "She's someone that, I plan on getting married again," Cruise said. But as the questions became more personal, his patience quickly wore thin. He told Overton he was stepping over a line and needed to take responsibility for his own curiosity, adding the memorable line, "Put your manners back in." To many, his reaction appeared rude and aggressive, a stark contrast to the charming persona he had cultivated. However, it wasn't just the Overton interview that shook Cruise's reputation. In 2005, his appearance on The Oprah Winfrey Show became one of the most iconic and mocked moments in talk show history. Instead of sitting calmly and answering questions, Cruise jumped on Oprah's couch, shouting with excitement and even grabbing her hands to express his enthusiasm about his new relationship with Katie Holmes. "No, Katie once told 17 magazine," he excitedly blurted. Oprah herself couldn't help but joke, "He's gone." The bizarre display of emotions shocked viewers, cementing it as one of the wildest Hollywood gossip moments ever, many questioning his behavior and mental state. While he remains a top star in blockbuster films like Mission Impossible, these controversial interviews have stuck with him, reminding fans of the volatility behind the curtain of his Hollywood fame. As of 2025, Cruise continues to dominate the box office, but his past antics in celebrity interviews still fuel whispers of Hollywood scandals, shaping the way the public views him. Number 17, Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller, once a rising star, found themselves at the center of a viral storm after a shocking video surfaced online. The footage, filmed at a bar in Iceland, captured a disturbing encounter between Miller and a female fan. In the video, Miller asked, "Learn it, did you want to fight?" Initially, the woman seemed to play along, but things quickly escalated when Miller grabbed her by the neck and shoved her against a truck, then threw her to the ground. "Is that the deal? Whoa, bro," the person filming seemed to gasp in disbelief as the chaotic moment ended abruptly. "Who, bro?" The clip sent shockwaves through social media, but it was just the tip of the iceberg. Miller's behavior spiraled further, with multiple arrests following for charges of disorderly conduct, burglary, and harassment. In one of their statements, Miller remarked, "I mean that I'm being arrested for disorderly conduct. Yeah, okay, I was assaulted." As the controversies mounted, the fallout on Miller's career became undeniable. Warner Brothers, already under pressure due to Miller's actions, faced growing backlash over their involvement in The Flash, a high-profile movie starring Miller. Despite the film's release, it struggled at the box office, and many pointed to Miller's outbursts as a key factor behind its lackluster performance. Number 13, Shan Connory. Shan Connory arrived for his 1987 sit-down with Barbara Walters in friendly form, chatting comfortably about golf and camaraderie. The pleasures of golf as well. I don't like playing golf with the women. But everything shifted when Walters reminded him of a past remark. He'd once suggested it wasn't the worst thing to strike a woman with an open hand rather than a closed fist, and asked if he still stood by it. Connory didn't flinch. "I would hope that I haven't changed my opinion." Pressed to explain, he maintained that in heated situations, a light blow might be necessary, insisting, "I think that it depends entirely on the circumstances and if it merits." When Walters asked what would happen if the woman hit back, Connory laughed, quipping, "Well, then you get into another area. I mean, then maybe she's getting to like it. Then it becomes something else. I don't know." What seemed like a candid glimpse into his personal code instantly became a public firestorm. Audiences were stunned by his calm defense of such an extreme view. That moment on national television exploded into controversy and has haunted Connory's reputation ever since. An unforgettable misstep that exposed attitudes many found shockingly outdated. Were you shocked by Shan Connory's unapologetic views? Comment yes if it changed how you see him, or no if you still respect him. Number 15, Jimmy the Greek. Jimmy the Greek was a staple in the world of sports commentary, especially known for his bold takes on football. For years, he graced the screens of CBS, building a reputation as one of the most outspoken figures in the industry. But in 1988, a single moment would shatter everything. During an interview about Martin Luther King Jr. Day, a reporter asked Jimmy about the progress of black people in society. What started as a conversation about fairness quickly took a dark turn. Out of nowhere, Jimmy made an astonishing comment suggesting that if more black people started coaching in football, there would soon be no jobs left for white people in the sport. I mean, all the players are black. I mean, the only thing that the whites control is the coaching jobs, he said, completely disregarding the implications of his words. The backlash was swift and fierce. His comments quickly went viral, angering countless people. Viewers called CBS in droves, demanding action. The pressure mounted until CBS had no choice but to make a decision. Within days, Jimmy the Greek was fired, his career brought to an abrupt and painful end. Number 19, Martin Lawrence. Martin Lawrence was once comedy royalty in the 1990s, a true powerhouse who seemed unstoppable. In 1994, he finally got what most comedians only dream of, an invitation to host Saturday Night Live. It should have been a career-defining moment. Instead, it became one of the most notorious disasters in SNL history. During his opening monologue, Lawrence unleashed a raw, unfiltered set that crossed every imaginable line. And I was like, when am I going to get my chance? When am I going to get my chance? But damn it, now is my time. Known for pushing boundaries, he went too far that night, making highly inappropriate jokes about women's personal topics and relationships, turning what should have been light-hearted jokes into an uncomfortable spectacle. At one point, he said, "The ladies in the 90s have a license to cut off the ply packers," shocking both the live audience and viewers at home. But it didn't stop there. He continued with, "I got to say something, some of you are not washing your properly," spiraling into graphic territory that stunned even the producers. NBC was forced to take drastic action, cutting his entire monologue from all future broadcasts and replacing it with a disclaimer. Although we at Saturday Night Live take no stand on this issue one way or the other. The fallout was brutal. Martin Lawrence was slapped with a permanent ban from Saturday Night Live, a rare and humiliating punishment. Worse yet, the controversy clung to him for years, leaving a permanent dent in his once skyrocketing career. Quick question before we dive deeper, where are you watching from? Drop your country in the comments. And trust me, you'll want to stick around till the end. There are some shocking stories and unexpected celebrities you won't believe. As time moves on, the beauty, strength, and stories of these TV legends continue to inspire new generations. Through rare celebrity interviews and unforgettable performances, their legacies shine brighter than ever, reminding us that true stardom is timeless. Which transformation surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more journeys into Hollywood's most breathtaking legends.